Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is so another day that the Lord has made. Listen, I love that song. It says, Jehovah, you, I trust in you always. And, life can throw you some curveballs in some situations to whereby you feel like, who do I depend on? Who do I call on? But the good thing about it is you can always call on Jesus. He will always answer you. Men will fail you, and men will die. Men lie, but God never fails, and God does not die, and God does not lie. So I'm excited about that today. Today, I have one of my,
We are like family.
Yeah.
We're radio family.
Yeah, we're radio family. So Miss Jacinta is here. She has an amazing book. I watch her show, Don't Tell the Saints. Y'all better not tell nobody. Her show be all the way live. It's a lot of things that I watch that I don't tell the saints because
I don't tell the saints.
I don't even share with the saints because
Right.
saints is a little bit judgmental. You watch Martin, you're going to hell. You watch you Empire, you is going to hell. Like everything. So some things you just keep to yourself, so you're not condemned.
Hey, look, and especially if you watching my show.
Right. So, but I watch her show. She has
Thank you.
amazing book. And so tell them a little bit about it.
Okay, so my book is called How We Got Back Home.
Mm-hmm.
It is part of the Figured Out series.
Mm-hmm.
So Figured Out is pretty much the brand. So we have a blog, and basically I just write about my life and all my life experiences. And it starts with, it kind of works itself backwards, but it tells my story about everything. But in the book, it goes through my experiences with cancer, mental illness, ups and downs. It's funny. It'll make you, laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you say what now?
Right.
It'll do all of that for you. So I encourage you to go pick it up if you haven't already. It's actually on Amazon and Kindle right now, so you can go there and order it. And if you have the Prime, if you've been paying your extra dues, then you can go ahead and get it real quick.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's a great book, and I'm really proud of it. And so we actually do a show every Tuesdays at 8:00 right here. And it's called Figured Out Tuesdays. So it's a bunch of foolery that goes on with it. I explain, what's going on in the book, and then we just go off into a little tangent, and it's not for the saints, it's for the sinners.
But you want to know the interesting thing? What I like about it is that sometimes I think people fail to realize that we find God in everyday life.
Oh yeah.
Because as you're telling your story, and some of the things you say, I said, God is good because He kept you, like you survived it. Somebody stayed in that hospital,
right,
and you got out. You know what I mean? So,
well, and not just that, but when I was in there, I kept saying there has to be something bigger than just me in here getting caught up. Like, I mean, there were, and as you read the book, you'll see how I interact with some of the other patients there. And even though I didn't feel like I should have been a patient, I actually felt like I did make an impact on something. So that's not bragging or trying to make me, but I mean, I do believe that there should be advocates out there. So going back to our tithing situation, so that's part of my tithing. Is making sure that you help other people. It doesn't necessarily have to be financially. It could be, you know what I'm saying, spiritually. It could be, a lot of different formats. So hopefully what I'm doing is going to put some footprints in the ground for some other people to kind of follow and start doing themselves. So
awesome. Yes, I love it. We're going to get into a real interesting conversation. And then this lovely lady right here is my big sister. It's Marky darling, and she is the world's best barbecue female that I know. Now, I got a couple of uncles that barbecue very well, but she beats them all. I tell everyone that she barbecues better than 6 drunk uncles. One in California, we drink Corona. I don't know what y'all drink here, but okay, well, they do different little things.
My uncles are really big into the Parmesans.
Oh, see, no, that's drink.
That's
ain't
a
no
drink.
That's a drink. That ain't no. They is lit.
They likes the Parmesans.
They not drunk. They lit. Jesus Christ. You got bourbon barbecue. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Well, I don't know how it works out either. Because according to them, it gives it flavor.
Right. So it works for them, but she barbecues very well. I have the privilege sometimes of helping out. We did Praise in the Park because my sister got the job. I got the inside scoop. So I'm excited about her being here. And could you tell our Encounter Brunch listeners a little bit more about you? Go ahead.
I'm slightly crazy.
We all are.
What really more about me? I woke up one day and I found my passion. I found my passion with barbecue. One of the pastors from my church asked, "So what is the one thing that you can do and not receive any payment for?" That helps a lot better, don't it?
Yes.
Hey, world.
Yes.
Sorry. But one of the pastors from my church asked me one day, "Well, what is the one thing that you can do and not receive payment and still be fulfilled?" I was like, "Oh, cook for you. Better yet, barbecue for you." The moment that I realized that, doors opened. I had been struggling. I had wasted so much of my money and time in other businesses. It just didn't do anything. As soon as I realized that, just doors opened. Shout out to Faith Walk because my church has supported me 100% from the very beginning.
Yes.
They have been sowing seeds into my life and they support me. But once I realized that, things just started happening. In regards to us being here this day in honor of this month, Daddy's Girls Barbecue was birthed during my breast cancer recovery.
Yes.
They say God, you won't sit down, but God will find a way to sit you down. He sat me down real good for a nice long time. But he gave me something to do to keep me preoccupied.
Yes.
And it's what I needed. And it had just been a beautiful journey. All of the Chef Ramsay's that I've been called all serves a purpose because at the end of the day I'm walking in my passion and it's beautiful.
Now let me defend my sister. She is not Chef Ramsay because she don't be yelling about stuff that don't make no sense. Why are you serving chicken with the fish tongs? You were supposed to get yelled at. You gonna kill somebody. People are really allergic to fish, and this is just what you gonna do.
No, and I am severely allergic to it. No, I'm allergic to all seafood.
Okay.
So if you use the same spoon or the same fork or whatever and touch something and I eat it, or my personal favorite, when your cousin Shar decided to make you a pork chop because you don't feel good, but she fried it in that fish grease, and then you need another EpiPen. Them things, first of all, they're far and few between because they're like $150 for two. So I get it. So it's an anointing.
It is.
I don't want you to get sick. I want you to go back and brag about my food.
Yes.
Oh, you want Daddy's barbecue? She made me sick last night.
Right.
And that's the one thing people are going to remember is that one negative remark, regardless of how good my brisket is.
Yes.
All you're going to remember is, I
you
got
said
sick.
The brisket.
You said
Now listen. I don't eat the skin or the fat on anything.
Baby,
I do not
bless
eat
me.
the skin or the fat on anything. Like I pull the skin off the chicken, and that will not be eaten. Fried, whatever. However, I don't eat chicken in public because of how I eat it.
Do you eat pork? Okay.
I ate the fat. At 30 years old, never swallowed fat, but
Never swallow fat.
It was so good that I said, listen, the fat good, the meat good, and we just gonna bless the Lord and call it all good. And it went down. And it's so good I had an argument with I probably would have got admitted. Because I was arguing internally. Don't swallow that. But it's good.
Wait a minute.
We don't want it. But it's good. We don't want it. Stop. Yes.
See, that's when the sinner in me says, don't swallow.
Right. You know what I mean? So, we did all of that, and it was wonderful. Like, so that was my first time ever eating fat, and it has not happened again because of that inner argument that I had with myself. It was too much, and I don't want to wager, is it going to be good or not? Hers was good. Yours might be nasty. So unless my sister make a Boston butt, I'm not eating no fat. But that was amazing. But today, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are all sitting on these sofas, and we want to talk to you about your health care. We want to talk to you about the reality of our experiences as people of color, African American women. We have different experiences throughout life. We have different cultural beliefs. You know that there's some people that don't never go to the doctor.
Foolery.
Ever.
Craziness.
No, for real.
And mayhem. And got insurance.
Have the insurance. Get it through your job, but you never go to the doctor.
Right.
Something happens, whatever, and you feel whatever, and so you say a little prayer, and you keep it moving, and you might want to go get some things checked. If it does not go away with prayer, then what you need to do is you need to consider that God gave the doctor a brain.
Yes.
He gave the doctor the ability to, know what he's doing.
Right.
He guides his hands. And come on, and there are a lot of Christian doctors, because one thing you'll learn once you get into something like that, you don't know nothing. You know, there's some professions that you go to school all your life, and then when you get in it, you don't know nothing.
Ain't that something?
So I believe that surgery is like that. You can get in it, and when you get in it, it's like, I don't know nothing.
Ready for that.
And things shift and move, and everybody's body is different. Everybody's body responds differently. So, we as a people need to do better with our health care. So why am I talking about it at the end of the month? Why didn't I say something about it at the first of the month? Because we're doing the reminder show. This gonna stick with you. People been telling you all month long, but this time it's gonna stick. You're going to remember these conversations. You're gonna remember these wonderful ladies' stories. You're gonna remember it, and you're also going to understand that God can do things many ways. As a believer, if I live, I win. If I die, I win. Either way it goes, I win. So, real story. My nephew went to Burger King. He almost hit someone. The person pulls out a gun and, waves at my nephew, and he's fussing and cussing. So y'all know I am from California. If I do die, I won't die a punk. I ain't gonna die begging. I'm not gonna die crying. I'm not going down like that.
I know that's right.
You gonna catch me fighting. You gonna say he got one hit. He was the bravest man alive because he fought me with a gun and he had nothing. Here comes David against Goliath. I probably would have won. Segue into another story. My brother and I had a situation. I reached in the car and grabbed the man's gun from him. So what? You thought you was going to? No, not today. And then, emptied it out in the concrete. But we go to the to the Burger King, and someone pulls a gun on my nephew, and I say whatever, and I get the guy off of my nephew, and he goes in and he's like, "Uncle Jay, you were not afraid." I said, "No." He said, "I don't understand. I was terrified. You were not scared." I said, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because either way it go, I win. Kill me, I know where I'm going. If I live here, but what you not going to do is kill my nephew because you don't know where you go."
Well, not just that, but God takes care of babies and food.
Yes, he does.
So if you run up on somebody, and I'm a firm believer in this. And I ain't trying to take away from your story. But what I'm going to tell you is this.
Go ahead.
Let somebody pull out a gun on me and I don't have one.
Well,
I'm taking off my shoe. And we about to go, honey. So it is a win-loss in that situation. Because I don't play them games.
Right, you lost.
Everybody know I'm from the West Side. And, as much as Chico say I don't fight, You don't know me like that.
Right. So you never know. So in that situation, we win. So either way it goes, we win. So just because you have some people, God can heal from cancer. Just they went to church, somebody laid hands on them, the lump dissolved, they went back to the doctor and they couldn't find it. That's somebody's story. But it's also somebody's story that God walked with them through the process of being healed, and he stayed with them. He wiped tears away. He dealt with their fears. He consoled their soul. I've learned to find God in the simple things. Like, I ain't one of them kind of crazy preachers that be like, ooh, no, I can find God in a leaf. I can find God in the construction of an institution, because your brain cannot create anything new. That's a scientific fact. Your brain always replays and reorganizes and restructures things that it has already seen. So when you get a new idea, it wasn't nothing but God that said, hey, you might want to do that. And you like, oh, okay, I'll try that. And when it starts working, it's God revealing to you your own gifts, your own abilities, and how they'll make room for you and bring you before great men. So if you don't get healed from cancer instantaneously and you have to walk through the process, it doesn't mean that God didn't do it. It doesn't mean that God abandoned you. Your way was different. Maybe you needed something different. Like Marky said, it was not good, but it was good for her. So could you tell us a little bit about how it wasn't good, but it was good for me? It hurt me, but it was good for me.
Ooh. So, let me just go through, I guess, give me a little bit more background about my story. I had came back from visiting my dad for his birthday, and came back home, woke up the next morning to go to work, and I woke up in a puddle of blood.
Wow.
Trying to determine where the blood was coming from. So I'm one of those people where I write and I go to sleep all type of foolishness in the bed, so I just thought I had punctured myself. So I'm looking up my shirt, looking around. As soon as I moved my girlfriend's, more blood started oozing out like milk.
Oh, wow.
So went to the doctor, had my biopsy. Whole nother story on that just alone. But it was determined that my cancer didn't have anywhere else to go, so it was pushing its way out.
Wow.
And your body will. If it's something foreign in your body, your body will push it out.
Push it out.
Yeah.
And for me, that's how mine was pushed out and discovered. And I also discovered in the process during my biopsy that I was allergic to iodine.
Oh, yeah.
So if you know, when you go to biopsy,
Yeah.
they put it on you so they can go ahead and examine you, whatever. Well, it burned me down to the flesh.
Jesus.
For them to have to turn around 2 weeks later to do a lumpectomy and cut into that burn all over again. So, needless to say, it was painful, but it was quick. My cancer was caught quickly. Once I had my lumpectomy, that was done. I went back for my follow-up on my checkups. It has been 3 years. I've been cancer-free.
Okay.
You
Amen.
know? So I was very excited about that. But in my quiet time is what I call it. He gave me a baby. He birthed Daddy's Roast Barbecue. And that is what I needed, because he was preparing me for a lot of life changes and situations.
Yes.
So he had given me something to give me a distraction from it all. Because even when I lost, like the day that my mom passed away, I had 2 catering events.
Yes.
I did them both, and I was on time to both events, and no one knew a thing.
Yes.
Because God had already given me a distraction. He had gave me Daddy's Roast Barbecue to set me up for all of the other things that were going to be life changing. But he gave me something good and something that I was good at and that I love to do to keep me preoccupied.
Yes.
Because I've had so much pain and turbulation in the last 2 years that it would drive your average person crazy.
So just an insider, Marky is absolutely correct. She's had more losses and death in the last 2 years, you know, whatever, all of just issues after issues. And one day I heard about an issue. So listen, you don't want me to pray, because I pray. Okay. And I pray rude prayers, like real rude and disrespectful. But some of my conversations.
Why do you think they're disrespectful?
because some of my conversations be like, all right, now listen, you supposed to know what you're doing, but this is too much. Like, see, I have real conversations with.
I would never have conversations with all like that.
See, and I would. Yeah. I get it.
You doing too much now. Come on, back up off my sister. You can't nobody take all of what is you doing now. If you got a will and you got a plan, you better show something. You better say something. Because we can't keep doing this. And I just kind of kept that thing to myself, in the house. But then something else happened. I had to pray with Mark. I'm like, wait a minute, this got to stop. And so she's endured a lot. But the interesting thing about it is how God will never put more on you than you can bear.
Right.
So, and what I admire about Marky is that her mother died and she delivered, or she delivered it the day it happened. Like, I'm going to take you the food. Then a couple of weeks ago, she had pneumonia. And she's over a grilling. She's in a kitchen serving everybody backstage for Praise in the Park. And she's faithful and she's committed and she has like a stick-to-itiveness that forces me to work. I love to work. Like, if you know anything about me, like, there's nothing that I cannot. Let's get it done. If you say we climbing a mountain, I'm going to help you climb it. We're going to figure it out. We're going to learn how to climb. Let me get a map. Let me get some. We're going to get up this mountain. You and me together. Come on, let's go. So when Marky rises to the occasion, she makes me put on strength. I'm like, oh, we all finna. Come on, we can fry chicken. We can throw plates. We can do it. So her story is a testimony that encourages me. So I just love you, and I've never told you that in spite of everything, your health challenges, your whatever, you still rise to every occasion, and you do it with grace and poise, even if they call you Chef Randy, and they just calling you Chef Randy because they don't know no better. They hate on you. Her food good.
I am mean.
No,
I become a whole. But it's a difference. People don't really understand when you have a business. It's your brand and it's your name on the line. You're just showing up to work, so you can care less. The check gonna clear, but keep in mind the check won't clear if I don't have clients, and I live on good customer service because that's what's gonna get you more clients.
Exactly.
You know, I don't care how good someone's food may be, but if you know they got a fake attitude or they just rude, you're not coming back.
DJ Lab will write a letter.
And
I say I don't want no letter written. I don't want no letter written.
Well, get his good pen and give you a hand. Your servers are so rude and disrespectful. They grieved and vexed my very soul.
Vexed.
You gotta come up with. You gotta get a word. Vexed my soul. And I came to this establishment. I enjoyed the food, and the horrible thing about it is your food is so good, but I will never return because of the disposition of your server and how they treated me. My advice, pick a lamppost on the way to work. Tell her, hang your troubles there, and then come to work. Leave your problems at the door. Do your job, ma'am, and we love you. So we're excited about Marky being here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that process. She basically gave it, and I'm going to start picking in a little bit. But I want Miss Jacinta to tell us about her story. What happened that you discovered, your breast cancer and that kind of thing? What happened?
Okay, so let's just start from all the way back. When I was 25, and I'm 41 now. Okay. When I was 25, this is gonna make you laugh. I was sinning, and I was going and putting them in my bustier because I was going to a New Year's Eve party. So me, I'm trying to let it know. And then as I'm pushing it in there, I was like, what is that? So I didn't think anything of it, and my focus was more so how it's gonna start looking. Yes. So then the next day, I said, my mind's playing tricks on me. I just felt it again. It was like the size of a pecan. Okay. So I go to the doctor. They do all of the tests like they normally do. They send you through the rigmarole, and they said, okay, we're going to do a lumpectomy. So I was probably out. I didn't have to do any chemo. Didn't have to take any. Well, I had some medicine I had to take, but it was nothing. And I'm here to. But here's the thing: I'm 25. Technically, people don't check at that age. I mean, even doctors don't bother to check. They start kind of filling you out at like in your 30s. So I say all of that to say, it can get you earlier than you think. And even though you could be 16, and you could have none, if you just feel on yourself. And I say that on my show. If you can't do it, get somebody else to do it for you. You know, I mean,
no, for real.
Yeah, seriously. So okay, so that happened. That's at 25. Fast forward to 2015. I had a boss that was just Satan.
Baby, we all
in the flesh.
Okay, and he had this thing where he would be like, well, you know, if you leave the house now, you could probably get to the office in 20 minutes. First of all, how you know where I stay?
Right.
And all of this other good stuff. And so I was one of those falling into the corporate America pleasing positions. So I'm running, and I said, oh my God, I forgot my charger. I go in the house, and as I'm going into the house, I slam my car door, but I slammed my finger in it. This is how far from, at least you knew it was from up top. I was so far removed from my thumb, it was ridiculous. I thought I actually broke my thumb, and it was bleeding, and so I go to the urgent care. They give me a tetanus shot. All right. So a couple days later, my thumb is really hurting, but now all of a sudden, it's like a baseball swelling right here. So I tell Cheek, I said, this is so uncomfortable. I said, well, maybe I'm having an allergic reaction to the tetanus shot. And he said, well, whatever it is, that's not an urgent care thing at this point. Now we need to go to a doctor in a hospital. So we had some relatives. We were living in Tampa at the time. We had some relatives. We called. They were able to get us in with their doctor. And the first thing she says to me after she kind of does her little exam is, what's your history with breast cancer and lymphoma? So I said, whoa. Breast cancer? I get that part. Where you come up with lymphoma at? And it was like 2 punches at one time. So I felt like I was getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And we started doing all these tests, and they find 7 tumors.
Wow.
So on both breasts. So, and some of them are bigger than others, some of them, but they're beginning to metastasize. So here's the thing. From a history standpoint, my grandmother died from breast cancer on my dad's side. I've had my great-grandmother, her mother died from breast cancer. Hell, we 2 steps, I think, from Henrietta Lacks as far as cancer is concerned. It's just very prevalent in my family. I have a few cousins that have had, you know, breast reductions and things like that, or mastectomies because they were dealing with it. So here I am, newlywed, and I got to give up the girls, and I really thought that that's why Chico had married me. So now I got to. They used to this, y'all not. I'm sorry, Encounter audience. Y'all gotta learn me. So here I am. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in vitro, not chemo.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to have my family and move on. But I tell people this all the time. God always puts a stone in your shoe to get you to slow down and see something. And I was so unhappy at work. So when you talk about the pain, let's talk about the goodness on it.
Yes.
I was so ready to leave that job. I was miserable. It was awful. So the day I went in and she said, I'm gonna write you something. You don't even need to go back to work no more. Because your nerves and all of this, it's not going to help your situation. And we just need to put a strategy. So God took me out of work, which is something I did not want to do anymore with that particular situation. So that was beauty. Okay, so let's go back to bad. So the bad part was I got locked up in the process. So the same day they're giving me test results, they lock me in a psych ward. So I'm battling cancer, trying to figure out the work situation. We live in Tampa, and now I'm in a psych ward.
So what happened that they put you in the psych?
Okay, so what happened is I went to get my test results. They were bad. And at this point they're saying, well, there's several different things we can do. We can do chemo and radiation or stem cell treatment, which is real popular now, blah, 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 blah. And so the whole time she's talking, it's like what I'm hearing is womp, 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 womp. Because I'm saying, okay, but wait a minute. My plans for this year was...
Well, they say you make plans, God laughs.
Who? What'd you say? Okay. Like, I got plans. So, long story short, I ended up. Cut the story. Okay.
We just gonna take a quick break.
We
got something that we gotta take care of on the back office.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. You're listening to the Encounter radio show on Misfits Radio, powered by Live 365 and GooglePlay. Yep, Kiana, I got you. Love you. Bye. Hey.
Are you ready for my brother?
Just hold on, never lose my faith, just keep pressing on. My struggle will be over in the nick of time. It will be alright. I've walked down this road many times before. He has never failed to keep me in his arms. My struggle will be over in the nick of time. It will be alright. that's no excuse for you
Yeah, me and Rika set
to
that
stop
up.
dreaming.
I'm on something I can't talk about.
You know, and I know that most of the truth is never told, but that's no excuse for you to stop believing. Ooh, when your darkest night can't seem to turn to day, and the struggle is too hard to bear. Yeah, let the fight inside you push you to the end. You will find the grace to make it there. Yeah. And you know, and I know that you may give and never live to see return, but that's not a reason to stop giving. Oh, and you've seen and I've seen some people reap what they haven't sown. That's not a reason to stop giving. Oh, when you feel the weight of the world is on your back, and your labor seems to be in vain. No, let the fight inside you push you to the morning. You will find the grace to make it there. You've got it, I've got it. Faith to believe that things can change. We've got a reason to keep dreaming. Ooh, yeah. We've got it. Yeah, 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 we've got it. Oh, the power of unified hearts. You're my reason, yeah, to keep dreaming. Oh, don't be discouraged. Oh, brother, I will stand by you. We'll make a difference. Fighting for truth. Hey, hey, hold up your head. Let faith be your guide. Let the dream keep you. You've got it, we've got it, the faith to believe that things can change. We've got a reason, yes, to keep dreaming. Ooh, we've got it, yes, we've got it. Oh, the power of unified hearts. You're my reason, yeah,
Korean doesn't
to
sound.
keep dreaming.
Okay. So I'm excited about our guest. Turn your mic on. We want to
All this guessing.
we want to continue. We had to take a break, but we wanted to continue with your story and tell us what happened in that part. So go ahead and
Okay.
finish.
Hey, y'all back.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what happened to me was I went to the doctor. My husband and I sitting there, and she's trying to tell us what's going on. And like I said, it came up with the, what's your history? And the next thing I know, my blood pressure's high. But at this point, I'm crying. Like I think most people do. As much as I am, I live on the creed of we wear the mask that grins and lies. Like, I will show you this funny face, and then deep inside of me is a whole bunch of extra demonic things. So I'm crying because I can't help it, and trying to be strong for my husband, and I can't help it. So she says, Chico, her blood pressure is way too high. I want you to take her to an emergency room so that we can get her to stabilize, because at this level she could have a stroke. We go to the emergency room. They see, because I've suffered from anxiety and mental illness my whole life. They see that I take Prozac. I don't play with that, and that's something that I'm going to tell all the viewers. Tell the doctors the truth. I think as African Americans, we tend to, not only do we not go to the doctor, but when we go to the doctor, we do half truths and lies. So, like, instead of just telling him, look, I'm on Viagra, if they give you something
nitroglycerin
that will, you'll kill yourself behind just trying not to tell nobody that you got that issue. So I always tell people what I'm on, because I don't want you to give me anything that I'm allergic to. I don't want you to give me anything that's gonna, make me have some type of reaction or whatever. So I tell them this. Well, in the state of Florida, you can get any inclination of crazy, and they will find cause, especially if you have insurance. And so instead of checking me for blood pressure, which is what they were supposed to be checking me for, they ended up committing me under the Baker Act. So they put me in the psych ward. Okay, so wait.
Right. That's
you said what? Wait a minute. What?
I had so many questions, but I'm a Florida girl. So
No.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay,
go ahead. What is the Baker Act? I don't understand.
question
Who
number
is
2.
Baker? Where he or she, where they at? Where's Baker, and where they at? And okay, but go ahead, finish your story, because
I know
it's blessing.
your
me.
nerves.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, my blood pressure high. They're gonna put me in there.
They're gonna put you in there too.
Go ahead.
So the Baker Act basically is an act, and every state has something similar. I think Florida just enforces theirs a little bit more than others because it's financial gain. I'm saying it's a financial gain. I guess the best way to put the Baker Act is basically if somebody thinks you're crazy, and that's the best way, easiest way to just talk in like, terms. If they think something's wrong with you, you're harm to yourself, harm to others, you look like you're about to commit suicide. Now here I am crying. They don't know why I'm crying. So like Chico and I are just kind of sitting in there consoling each other, like talking through it. Oh, babe, everything's going to be okay. And I'm saying, oh, but I wanted the baby. And, we're going through that kind of emotional conversation. Right. So somebody on the outside looking in, you don't know what we're talking about. But the assumption should not have been, because I was on these mental or psych meds, that's why I was there.
So can I say this? I go to the doctor all the time. I'm actually working on a play that we're going to do about another issue, health issue that we need to address in the African American community: cancer and HIV.
Right.
We need to talk about it, but nobody. Those two are the most horrible
it's
things.
Taboo.
It's like, ooh, don't say anything.
Right.
And in the church world, if you die of HIV, they're going to tell the church it was cancer. Because HIV, people judge you, but cancer, you get a pass. Somebody can smoke 14 packs of cigarettes a day, get lung cancer. They're going to bring him a plate every day till he die. If someone has HIV and it comes out in the church, you have it, so people avoid you. You see what I'm saying? So
I do, but I don't. And I guess, so
ignorance.
that's a whole nother
That's another show.
That's a whole nother
show. But my point was like the assumptions that we make about people, especially in the medical field. Just because you see someone's diagnosis doesn't mean you know anything about them. Right. I am not that paper. I am a person. So whatever you saw.
So whatever you're reading.
Yeah.
Don't make any type of, So.
You read the paper. Yeah. I got all this horrible news at the
And instead of just
time.
saying, no, how about this one? What brings you in today? Duh. None of that was ever really asked. I'm telling them this is what's wrong. My doctor wrote a script, actually kind of giving them like an idea of why she sent me there. And they, at the time when they actually took me into custody, because it's like jail.
Wow.
Chico called my physician that actually sent us there, and she came, and they were like, "You have no jurisdiction over her right now." So she said, "But that's not why I sent her here." So, whole nother story. If y'all have read the book, if you haven't read the book, go buy it. It'll tell you blow by blow what happened after that. But as far as the actual cancer is concerned, we left in the middle of the night like gypsies. So I've escaped Florida. I'm on the run. B and Jay ain't got nothing on me. I'm the biggest on the run going. So let's start with that. So, but we came back to Atlanta. Atlanta is home, and we needed a support system. We needed people that were going to be able to come and see about me, and I don't have to worry about going to the hospital and getting locked up.
Right. Because that's a fear. That'll make you not want to go.
Right.
I was well into my 20s before I got over my fear of the hospital, because all I knew was
every time you went there, something bad happened
and nobody came out.
Right.
You go in and you don't come out. So go to the doctor.
But that goes back to us not going to the doctor.
Right.
And so I will say this, and my husband can attest to this: if I cough wrong, I'm going to somebody with a degree that has studied this over time. If I wink real hard and I don't know why my eye is twitching, you gonna see me in your urgent care or your level 1 trauma center down at Grady, because I'm not gonna walk around here with my eyes twitching and I not know why that is.
Right.
And we got insurance.
Right.
So even as a young child, my father always stressed to us, if you don't feel right, do something. Now, my grandmama would be like, prove it. Like, if you go to her and be like, yeah, I'm sick, throw up then. What? I don't feel good.
Right.
I mean, I can't just make myself throw up. I mean, it was that. But at the same time, I think it's very important that you stay on top of all the things that could be bothering you, or the things that that have bothered your family in the past, or things. So, needless to say, we come here. I find the best doctors I can find. And shout out to Northside Hospital. When I tell you they have an amazing breast cancer program and a women's center, I mean, they do an amazing job. And you feel so much comfort, from just being around people that are not feeling sorry for you, but know that you need a certain kind of help and a certain kind of support. And I think that's the thing. I think when people hear, oh, you got breast cancer or any kind of cancer, I'm so sorry. Don't you be sorry for me. That was just God putting a stone in my shoe and telling me I need to slow up. And it got me out of work. So I'm down for little Duval saying, you ain't going to work tomorrow. I'm down for all of that.
Right.
So I guess at the end of the day, I did something that was more, I would say, adventurous than other cancer patients. I actually had what they call a deep flap, and that's DIEP. And basically what they do is they give you a double mastectomy. So they take everything, nipples, milk ducts, whatever you want to call it. They take everything. So I am cut from my back on this side under my arm all the way to the other side.
Okay.
I am also cut the same place down at my hip, and I go all across my stomach. They literally took my stomach and transplanted it up here to make me new breasts. Now, this is the crazy part. I didn't have to do any chemo. I didn't have to do any
radiation.
But let me tell you something. The hell, God, that whole hurt you to your core, that's a real statement. Right now, my core was cut so deep, I had 140 staples, and they glued me. And so that was in July 14th of last year. I've had 3 total surgeries just to get to this point. But I'm still able to have children.
Amen.
I'm still able to, you see what I'm saying, have something to show, you know.
Your husband.
You know, and I'm getting some tattoos. Now I'm going deep now. I'm gonna get tattoos and all of that so that I can feel like myself again. I think the object of being, or to think that you will ever be normal, does not come for somebody that's gone through what we've gone through. I think at this point it's a testimony to move forward, you know, with what all you've been going through. So I will say that it was the most painful experience, and I was taking like 27 pills a day. Would I do it over again? Yes. The other thing that I would encourage is that I took a BRCA test, and I don't even think a lot of people in our community even know what a BRCA test is. But basically, it's a DNA test, not the kind that y'all on Mari for talking about, is this my daddy? It ain't an LDT. It's not a lie detector test. Basically, what it does is they take your DNA, and my father even came. My father, they took his DNA, and basically they can go and look in your genetic makeup and see how possible you, or your percentage, or your chances are of getting certain illnesses, cancers, whatever. So for mine, when I did mine, it came back inconclusive.
Just make you mad?
It did not make me mad. If anything, I was more mad at the fact that I had to spit in that little cup for like 30 minutes because you got to have so much saliva in the cup. So I think that made me mad.
Right.
I think the results were more so because they don't have a plethora of African American DNA in their bank. They can't compare it to anything to conclude.
Got it.
So, like, if you have not taken a BRCA test, go on and take that. So don't just do the breasts and the mammograms. Ask to go do a BRCA test. They do it at Northside Hospital. And sometimes I want to say it's fully covered by your insurance because it's preventive medicine. So I say go ahead, do your BRCA test. You will find out, and see, this is the other part. Colon cancer, that was conclusive. So it wasn't just the breast. So now I have a colonoscopy scheduled for the end of this month. You see what I'm saying? So it's different things that you need to do to just make sure you're okay. But you got to start
somewhere
by just going to the doctor. So even if you could not know that that's what's going on, or what I hate most is self-diagnosis.
And Google, listen.
Honey, if y'all don't get off of this
Google, you dead. And let me tell you who show I do not like. I'm telling you this right while I'm here.
Here we go.
I cannot stand Dr. Oz.
And my doctor will tell you, don't come in here with that Dr. Oz
Everything Dr. Oz says ends in cancer. Don't eat eggs, you'll get cancer. Stop breathing. Breathing causes cancer. Did you know that touching a table can give you cancer? Riding in a car will give you cancer. Avoid the sun. It'll give you what? Well, let's all die then, Dr. Oz.
I mean, we gonna do it anyway.
Let's all die now, because if we all gonna have, I cannot live in fear.
You can't.
I cannot live in fear.
But that is easier said than done when you're facing so many different obstacles and tribulations. But again, everything is temporary.
Listen, don't mess with me, because that almost made me do a full-fledged
Let me tell you something. They don't want Jonte and myself together in the same room with a microphone, and a camera.
That'd be a shout.
Won't it?
Be a good shout.
Sounds like a good show to me.
Because you gotta think about temporary.
Round table.
Yes. You got to think about the word temporary.
Temporary.
It's not permanent.
But it's
hell.
I was just about to say that you took the worst. It was hell. I did not know peroxide could hurt. You know how you put peroxide on a burn? It's easier than putting alcohol. No. I had tubes coming out, and Marky can attest to this. I had tubes coming everywhere, draining. You can't walk. You can't. You need help at the bathroom, and I'm not talking about taking me to the bathroom. I'm talking about I can't put my hand back there
To wipe myself.
Or
wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's humiliating to some degree. It humbles you. You can really find out who in control when you go through these scenarios. The other thing I would mention, and this is going back to not checking up, don't come to me with this holistic thing. I don't do that. Now, Jonte gonna talk about that.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so this is
me. Yeah. I've tried everything under the sun. I even paid for my own. No, it did not work for me.
Okay, so I had a cousin.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Hold on. Slick made the face. What that mean?
What happened?
Slick made the face. Slick said,
Right. They'll encourage you not to do the scientific way.
And let me say that. Let me say
it
this.
It work for everybody, but I love it, but it just didn't work for me in my situation.
Let me say this. The church also has a bad habit of telling people don't take their medicine. God, have faith, trust God. Oh no.
I wasn't ready for that song.
No. Listen. Here's what. Okay, so let me put on my clergy collar. There is a spirit of schizophrenia. There is a mental issue of schizophrenia, and then there's people that's just crazy.
Right.
If there's a spirit of schizophrenia, that's the thing you pray away. But if you go test the person and you find the mental tracers for schizophrenia, don't tell them don't take their medicine, pastor.
Realm.
Don't do that. You gonna tell Mother Ward,
Mother
Ward. You gonna tell Mother Ward don't take her insulin because the Lord has healed her diabetes. What?
Knowing good where she got them Kit Kats and them peppermints in her purse and they stale.
Now we have Mother Ward's funeral 2 weeks later, Pastor, because you advising
and
people.
And then somebody putting Kit Kats and those peppermints in her casket.
This is a snack. She might get hungry while she
going to the Lord. She love them Kit Kats.
Right. You know what I mean? But as a body of believers, we do that all the time. Don't take it. You don't need, just trust God. Just believe. Just have faith. Hold on. There's a difference in having faith and being stupid. There's a major difference.
No, God trusts that you gonna do what he has taught you to do. Like, in other words, if I believe that God didn't make me stupid. So if I'm not stupid, and that's part of God's doing, then why am I going to not trust in the people that I know ain't stupid on this subject?
Well, listen.
Okay, let me give you an example. I have a cousin. Well, I had a cousin. She recently passed away. Tragic. She had cervical cancer. So she's complaining of cramps. All this other young girl, we same age, 40-something. She has 2 children, blah blah blah. Next thing I know, she finds out that she has this cervical cancer. I'm gonna go on and go holistic. Let me tell you what I got a problem with when it comes to the herb shop. Fahim and them.
Raul.
Fahim and them. Okay, Raul. They have read the same vitamin book over and over again for 30 years. And that book has not been updated. No versions have been brought to justice on certain things. So that's the first problem. The second problem is Fahim and them hadn't gone to any medical institution or any type of certified class that can teach you, show you. He just been reading them those little vitamin Bibles. All right. Having said that, when you decide to go holistic, that doesn't mean stop going to the doctor.
Thank you, Jesus.
That means go holistic and track your progress. And instead of doing that, she kept on the holistic. And the pain had gotten so bad one night that she said, I'm just going to go to the emergency room, see if they can just give me something for the cramps. They said, no, ma'am, we can keep you comfortable for the next 72 hours. And she was like, well, no. You know, I know I have this, but I've been working on the holistic part. No, what they told her was, we're going to transport you to hospice. Mm-hmm. There is nothing else we can do for you. Now, all of that could have been prevented.
Yes.
All you had to do was keep checking on it while you doing the holistic. And then once you found out that was not working. So in a matter of 3 months, you dead.
Yes.
Because you want to go to Fahim and them. And guess what? Fahim doesn't accept insurance. So you paying full price out of pocket for Fahim, saying it's cheaper. Somebody gave you a coupon. Or if you mention this ad, you get 15% off.
And can
I can't.
Can the family go back to Fahim and
sue him? No, can't. So that's what I'm saying. Pray about your circumstances, but I do believe that God put those doctors, and you have a lot of praying doctors that pray before they touch you, pray with you when they touch you. Before surgery, they making sure you straight. They praying with their team so that y'all can do the right thing. If y'all are not in that circumstance, something wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
So I encourage people to go ahead and really go to the ones that have been trained and educated and all of that good stuff so that you can get the right kind of treatment.
So we oppose doctors, but did you guys know that Luke was a physician?
You talking about the homeboy that was hanging with Jesus?
He was a physician. Yes.
Did y'all know that?
Luke was a physician. So we're opposing doctors.
I didn't know that.
But
See,
God called.
God
called what she said. That's how you know I'm a sinner. No, a lot of people. You know what amazes me? I know a lot of stuff about the Bible because that's what we talk at home. We talk Bible. We talk living it. We try to live it. You understand what I'm saying? So yesterday was the first time that I ever preached that my grandparents and my mom weren't there. Papa is so special to me because Papa's going to tell me what I did right. You did good, son. But he also going to tell me what I did wrong. The next time, don't, and you missed it on that. And that was a half truth. Next week, tell him the whole truth.
Right.
Papa keep me grounded. So when I know a lot because that's what they, I was instilled in me. But we have to really understand that you don't take what someone says just as is.
Right.
You go do the research for yourself.
Yeah, you got to be your primary source. Yes.
Even with the natural remedies. Give me the book. Let me see. Let me read. Let me learn. Let me understand what's going on. And then here's the catch-22. You cannot use a natural resource on something man-made.
Read why you ain't
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all understand? You cannot herb away something that is scientific.
Well, they do have new herbs now that can herb everything away. They just need to pass the law, but that's for the sinning show. We'll talk about that another time.
No.
Where can I find it though?
No. We're gonna talk while we here because that's how I get
I got
done.
a little bit of
here.
change that I need to invest in myself. I need to go find that so I can
while I'm
take
here
all this pain away.
Let me make some things perfectly clear. You take oxycodone, right? Here's a joint. Read the side effects of oxycodone. Oxycodone is actually more addictive.
It is.
Than the joint.
And it make you itch.
Listen, if you take too many of them at the same time, you're going to have a problem. No.
Reed don't want us together.
No, I'm Yes.
I agree with all that.
We're not saying that you cannot, herbs are not used for medicinal purposes. That's not the point. The point is you're not going to go eat a salad and take away cancer. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna drink no tea and the cancer gonna go away.
Especially that ballerina tea.
Yeah,
All that's gonna do is clean your colon.
Sorry, that's not gonna happen. And so I can respect your right to disagree, but I disagree as well. Herbs are I'm so
I know it. I see it.
You can disagree, but that's just a fact. Go drink tea every night and see what happened. I got some green tea. I'll send you a box, and then tell me what happened. Tell me how that works for you. And when we have to understand, we want to argue about the dumb stuff. The fact of the matter is, if you don't get things checked on, if you don't take care of them, and the truth of the matter is, a lot of cancers are man-made causes.
Yes, they are.
Eat McDonald's every day and watch what happens to your body.
Jonte, I got to stop you. You are not going to bring them hot fries into this situation.
I like the hot fries, but what's wrong with this hot fries that they don't mold? They don't decompose.
That's because, again,
I got
God fries. Them fries so good.
They touched by the Lord.
Yes,
Listen,
honey. So anything he touches turns to gold. And that's why they have not turned to green.
Them fry. I found a French fry under my seat, and that thing was so hard I could have threw it as a stick for a dog to play
That's
fetch.
called preservation.
It's fossilized. It's fossilized in open air. Like,
hey, can I touch on one thing? Going back to the young lady or whoever that was about the plants. I think what they were trying to say was that most medicines are made from plants.
That's true.
I can concede to that point.
I think what they don't understand is, yes, they get the plant and they start making medicine from it, but they also add chemicals to those plants
test it
in order to make whatever they're trying to make
it optimizes
either more potent or more addictive.
So that's
the problem. That's where we're talking about. Okay.
And that is called, let's use some real, that's called to sophisticate it. They sophisticate them. We say sophistication is a good thing, but if you actually look up the meaning of the word, it doesn't have a good connotation. You take a substance and you add things to it to soup it up and make it be something else. So yes, I take the opiate to make oxycodone, but what did I put with it? That's the issue. What I put with it is what I know is needed to combat what I did. So you take a little plant, you take a little chemical, the plant does one thing, but the chemical does something else. I take medicine daily. I must take medicine. That if I do not take it, I could alter my life forever. So I'm not saying this as somebody that's just telling you. No, I'm saying it as what I know.
And what you do.
And what I do. So you can talk all day long, but if you don't have any type of affliction, yes, I do. I eat grapefruit because it flushes my liver. I drink green tea because it's better for my liver. There are certain things that I do not eat peanuts. If you fry your food in peanut oil, I can't touch Chick-fil-A as much as I love their waffle fries because they use peanut oil. And 30 minutes later, I will have cramps that I thought I was having sextuplets because I've had cramps that have dropped me to the floor, just because of something I did. So if changing my diet, that's holistic, would alter my quality of life, you best believe. Don't no Snickers, no Reese's cups, no M&Ms, and as I love those things.
Yeah,
but for me,
they're not good for you.
I have to let them go. And you got to change this for Brussels sprouts, baby. I can make some Brussels sprouts.
I know that's right.
Tastes like cabbage. You show with
that extra pepper
and bacon sprinkling on the top. So it's when you experience it, the medicines that I take combat something that's not human. For everything that God made, there is a natural cure.
Right. No, absolutely.
But for the stuff we did,
or what we
radiation, the things
Right.
that we add to our foods, the things that we add to our water. Come on, Flint River. The things that we, Michigan, the things that we do that affect people and make them
Right.
sick, then you want to go get a plant. That's just like you blaming God for something you broke. You can't blame God for something you broke. You broke it.
I mean, well, here's the thing. So let me address the plant thing. All I'm saying again, take all of that. I don't disagree with you whatsoever. My thing is, get someone who has some professional training and
Yes.
certification,
Yes.
board certification.
Yes. And there is a school you can go to school for.
You can-
Kiana is actually going to school for that. She wants to
but-
because of me.
Right.
She's seen me suffer. She's seen whatever, and she's seen me not have access to
Right.
care. She's walked with me through this thing, in my mom and everybody. So she's going to school because she there got to be a better way.
Right.
People have to and address the whole thing.
So just make sure that plant you taking is working.
Yes.
And again, it's just like it's just like Coca-Cola.
Oh Jesus.
It don't taste good without the fizz.
Show though.
So I say all of that to say, if you have a particular vitamin that you're taking, make sure that that vitamin is benefiting you. And that's basically what we're saying here. I'm telling you that you can take all the vitamins in the world. You can cook all the collards in the world, and that will not cure your cancer. You're going to need somebody to come in there and really do a work over on you, because it might not just be cancer in your breast.
Yes.
There may be cancer. That's why she said lymphoma and breast cancer.
Right.
She knew that the possibility of both of those being intertwined was, the possibility. So at this point, let me tell you something else. Go and take them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think the other thing you need to
that's-
do
yeah,
is attitude.
Mm-hmm.
My attitude, and I'm sure Marky can attest to this too. My attitude wasn't that I was giving up. It was just a stone in my shoe. I didn't look at it as a damnation. I didn't look at it as this gonna take me out, because again, I had plans and I had things to do. So I appreciate certain things a little differently. I plan a little differently, and I spend majority of my money on health care. Now, could I have done something different? I'm sure. All of us could. But at the same time, once you find out, just do the right thing. He'll carry you through it.
My grandfather says God takes pleasure in making a man alive. So when you plan, God laughs.
Don't he?
He laughs. And I believe he laughed hard. Because, like Marky, I'm going to do this and you doing it and you got all of this. And God's up there laughing. He cracking up. He's cracking up, I believe, because he's like, you don't see that you gifted in this area?
Right.
You don't see that I've already blessed you. You're praying for me to bless you, but I've already blessed you. You're praying for me to open the door, but I've already opened it. You're asking me to do something that I've already done. How about called in? Okay. Lord Jesus.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, this is better recognized.
Amen.
I was just commenting on your guys' live.
Hey.
And I just wanted to say I absolutely love this topic today. It's actually my birthday today too.
Happy
birthday.
You guys is live. Thank you. So I just wanted to say I heard the gentleman, he was talking about herbs and trying holistic approaches for certain things. And what I just wanted to say is my experience with a holistic approach is I take care of my father, and he's paralyzed from the neck down. And so I've been taking care of him. We've been taking care of him since we've been kids. He's been this way a long time. But I have been able to cure him of different things through diet and herbs. So he's had diabetes for decades. And get rid of his diabetes from an herb.
But you didn't just get rid of it from an herb. You also had to alter. The herb was not the cure all, because diabetes is caused by our diet as well. Your body's making insulin, or in it is either making too much or not enough. So there's something that's going on. The herb does not stop your pancreas from making insulin. It may help other things, but it does not stop that. It was the totality of whatever you did. So it was the herb, it was the altering of his diet, it was him following the doctor's orders, it was all of those things together, like she was saying, that makes you healthy. We're saying you cannot just take the herb and still eat pork chops and hog maws and chitlins and whatever you want to eat and think that the herb is the cure-all to take away the diabetes. I am not.
Well, I do want to say this, though, because while we were going through the process and his body started healing itself and able to regulate insulin properly and his blood sugars were getting stabilized, we still were under a doctor's care. We didn't just cut off, because we need to see blood work. They got something called A1C levels. I guess it's a test where it can go back 3 months to measure blood sugar. So he was while I was doing that, he was actually on on the diabetes medication too. And so one day I had given him his diabetes medication and he became unconscious. Had to call 911. They checked his blood sugar, and it was so low that the doctors are like, okay, you can't be on this no more. Now it's making it, it was like a normal person taking diabetic medication. So he was off. So, but with that being said, when I first called in, I heard the lady saying that, just to switch over to a holistic approach and not be followed up by no one else, and then you end up passing away because in the home, you don't have access to, urine tests and blood work. And I think that's so important to still have that. If you are trying to be holistic, you just cannot give that up.
And the thing about holistic is, for me, use it as an option. Holistic to me is preventive care. I'm going to live my life in a holistic way to prevent things. But one thing I want us to all know, the reason why everybody has to get checked, the reason why everyone, because you can be totally healthy. There are people that have they work out every day, they go to the gym, they don't smoke, they don't drink, they follow, their year annual,
sick as a dog,
and then all of a sudden,
sick as a dog.
Yes, something happens. So it's an option that we do to prevent care. Now, that person may be in a better position when they go to the doctor because of their lifestyle. Their body is healthier, so it can repair itself faster and better than me, who look healthy, but we going to Popeyes after this. You understand what I'm saying? So thank you, sweetie, for calling in. We love you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And we appreciate your comment.
I love the show today.
Oh, thank you so much. And happy birthday. Enjoy your day. This is the day that the Lord made especially for you. All right, Punky. So thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. So listen, we're going to do our church foolishness video. Can we play a song first and then do it? We're going to play a song, and then immediately when we come back, you are going to see our Church Foolish video. Now, listen, I want y'all to prepare your hearts for the musical ministry.
I cannot. What is
you are listening to the Encounter Radio Show on Misfits Radio, powered by Live 365, GooglePlay, YouTube, and all those other wonderful, amazing channels and outlets. And stay tuned in with us. Bye.
Here we go. I see the sunrise over the horizon.
life comes my way. Only in you I live, I move, and I have my being. I surrender my will to yours. Make me who I am in you. Oh, Christ, I can do all this. Really doesn't matter if the enemy tries to harm me. There's no weapon formed will be able to prosper. I will let my light so shine so everyone can see not me, but He who started up the work in me, He shall complete it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I will pursue what pleases you. I will follow through, 'cause I realize it's all about you. You. I will pursue what pleases you. Do what you tell me to, 'cause I realize it's all about you. Oh, I tried to find my own way through this maze. Thought I could make it to my place of destiny. But then I acknowledged, stood naked in humility. Now I clearly see, without you there's no me. Oh, Christ, I can do all this. Really doesn't matter if the enemy tries to harm me. There's no weapon formed will be able to prosper. I will let my light so shine so everyone can see not me, but He who started up the work in me, He shall complete it. Come on, yeah, yeah. Oh, I will pursue what pleases you. I will follow through, 'cause I realize it's all about you. I will pursue what pleases you. Do what you tell me to, 'cause I realize it's all about you. Oh, Lord, I will pursue what pleases you. I will follow through, 'cause I realize it's all about you. Hey, I will pursue what pleases you. Do what you tell me to, 'cause I realize it's all about you. Say, through Christ I can do all things. Hey, really doesn't matter if the enemy tries to harm me. No weapon formed will be able to prosper. I will let my light so shine so everyone can see not me, but He who started a good work in me, He shall complete it. Yeah, hey, it's all about you. It's all about you. Hey, it's all about you. Yes, it is. It's all about you. About you. It's all about you. It's all about you. Every day. It's all about you. Hey, it's all about you. About you. It's all about you. It's all about you. Have your way. It's all about you. Every day. It's all about you. About you. Hey, it's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. All about you. It's all about you. I don't wanna do it on my own. It's all about you. It's all about you. It's all about you. Everybody say it's all about you. Yes, it is. It's all about you. Yes, it is. It's all about you.
So listen. Yeah, off camera, and I'm gonna let Marky say this. Marky made a very good point while the song was playing. And I want you to share that point with the audience. And she started with saying she doesn't understand, or her concern is, how are you laying in the bed with somebody you don't know their medical history?
Because how are you're being with this person, you're being intimate with this person per se, you are bringing children into this world with this person. However, they ain't been to the doctor in 10 years. What you bring home? What is it that's wrong with you? You could have a gene, or you're passing down something, and your child is a victim of something you can't even explain to them because you ain't take it behind to the doctor. Go get checked. It ain't that serious. The same way you get up and you go do foolishness in the streets at night or whenever it is you're doing, the same drive needs to be taken to make sure you're healthy. If not for yourself, for your children. speaking as someone that does not have children, nor do I want any, but I have 12 beautiful godchildren.
Yes.
Everything that I get up and I do is for them.
Mm-hmm.
When I went through my cancer, my godchildren was there. I woke up some mornings, they was in the bed with me. They understood. When my mother passed away, that was a conversation that needed to be had. Because I shared with them my entire medical history is on my phone. Sorry. It is on my phone. Anybody that has I don't even have a password, but because I need people to get to me. I know that
I don't have a password either on my phone.
You can get into all my medical apps.
I am the same way. I'm open book, right.
Me and Wells there is good.
Huh?
I don't have a pass. I'm an open book.
Listen. 20 million. Listen.
No.
I got a password you wouldn't even know I had.
I need you to help me. I need you to be able to help me quickly.
Right. No, that's a big deal.
My life is in my phone. I need to go over there, open up TT phone, show this to the doctor when they come or when I need for it to be that way. But that's just a concern for me. How are you with this person? I don't in any situation. I need to understand what you have. I walked away from a relationship. You ain't been a doctor in how long? And you got some kids running around here, so that means you done had some? Okay. And you ain't been to the doctor. How long? We ain't gonna work. I'm so sorry, bro. Next.
Okay, but wait, I totally agree.
Oh, Lord. And the thing about it is this, there are some diseases that are not transferred through bodily fluid, like syphilis. Syphilis is transferred by the rubbing of the canker sore that comes with syphilis, and that's how you get it. So you can get syphilis on your lip. You can get syphilis in your back. You can get syphilis because it's not.
Did you say good morning?
She said it's not transferred by bodily fluid.
I need a camera on her face. That face over there.
There are parasites like trichomoniasis that is not transferred through. See, I got my nieces and nephews are teenagers. You can get it, but when you get it, you better get it. You better
so trichomoniasis?
Make sure that you are okay. You want the crabs. That's not a something that is transferred through bodily fluid. Oh yeah, the preacher know a little bit about something. I can help you all. Go to the doctor and get it checked, because you ain't praying off them crabs and you're not bringing them to a crab
You're not
boil.
gonna pray off no crab.
You got to get the shampoo.
If you got the red lobster going on down there,
yes,
and the juicy crab going on down
crab
there,
shack.
You can't pray away no crab. You can't pray away no crab.
It's not gonna happen. Pray all day long. They gonna just move to the next hair follicle.
And that's the origination of tricking and treating.
Happy Halloween.
See, and I'm going to the Hallelujah night because I'm not going to get into that demonic stuff.
Yes.
I'm trying to get saved before I go to hell. So, but no. To Marky's point, I will say this. It's interesting that you say that. My husband and I've known him since I was 8.
Wow.
Okay, but it doesn't mean we went together then.
No, but that's just.
But you see what I'm saying? Just
right.
So I didn't decide to get married to 37. So at the end of the day, one of the hesitations that I had with marrying anybody was my mental illness. Okay. I didn't want some, pretty coming crazy. Look how pretty I am. Look at the edges. Look at my edges today. So here's the thing. I did right
when I grow something.
Yes, honey. Get your tune in on Tuesday for the ghetto gift bag giveaway, and you can have edge control.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Listen,
and we will thy bless of thy edges this year. I promise.
Listen, your edges will be slayed out in the spirit of excellence.
I have never slayed my edges in the spirit, but I'm gonna start moving forward today.
It's about it. It's about it.
Hope that yellow. Hope you on here.
Listen.
But no, I told Chico, I said, because he kept saying, why you don't want to, why can't we just be together? And I was like, all right, so here's the thing. I'm not crazy, but I'm crazy. And he was like, well, what do you mean? And I said, I have a mental illness. And I said, I need to know that you're going to be able to deal with this because and you know what? I have a clause in my prenuptial agreement.
Pause. You got prenup?
Oh, 19 pages, baby. Do believe that.
Pause. Listen, so
God said, "Do not be dumbeth."
No, so listen.
By thy
I got a list of
marriages.
about 5 good shows that needs to take
So
place.
no. People don't believe me, but I tell everybody. I said when I get married, if I will marry somebody that has known me now and rock with me now, when the offering was $16 last night,
And 42,
took that
it's go. We go.
$16
Yes,
and
honey.
we made and we you know
Turn them lights
I
on.
rock with we played like the lights was on, but so we lit candles because we didn't pay the light bill. Like rock with me. I'll marry you, no prenup. But when I make it, and you want to be beautiful and all that cute and sweet, honey, sign these papers, and my prenuptial agreement's gonna go like this. For every year you stay, that's the percentage you get. Stay 1 year, you get 1%.
Okay, that's
Stay
not how
2
my
years, you get
prenuptial
2%.
works.
Stay 50 years, you get 50%, and that's as far as you going.
Jonte, here's the thing.
Stay married.
Okay, so wait a minute.
50
So
years,
Marky's,
then you can walk away
so
with half.
Marky has a good point. That's another show. However, my prenuptial says more than just money. It talks about, yes, we agree that we're going to have kids.
Okay.
However we want to do that. It also says that I require housekeeping because I don't like cleaning up, and I prefer someone that's not attractive to come and clean my home. My husband good looking. I'm not gonna sit up here and have Consuela and them cleaning up my house when Otha can come over and do a better job with them corners. I'm not gonna do that. So let's start with that. Secondly, I will say that
She's the best. That's why I love her.
okay,
I'm
so
like,
wait a minute.
yes!
Right. So I'm saying all of that to say you do have to have that conversation with somebody that you lay down with, because every night when we go to sleep, I give Chico credit. He holds my hand and he lets me know that he's still there. Now, in the prenup, though, it's a clause that says if you want out, just say it. No hard feelings, because you can't handle what's going on here. And every time something goes wrong, I say, okay, you know, I understand if you don't want to be in this no more. Da 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 da. And he was like, no. He was like, I'm good. But that's because I truly believe that we had the conversation about how we were going to go forward with the conditions that I had.
People don't communicate anymore.
And he did the same with me. Like, here's my issue. You see what I'm saying? So to your that's awesome.
I think everybody needs to do that. I agree with that. You want to know what I like about what you're saying is my definition of love is this. Love is when you know the worst about me, but you love me anyway. That's love. If I can't tell you the nasty, dirty, ugly, grimy parts of my life that I would never share or disclose to nobody,
right,
and trust that my secrets are safe
with you. That's the biggest. Yes,
you understand what I'm saying? If
yes.
I cannot do that, then you can have my body, but you can't have my heart. See, like, so
or my mind,
or my medical records. You can't. Because because see, they tell the story.
Oh, sweet.
They tell the story of things that I may not necessarily be proud of. They are the history of things that went wrong. They're the history of things that weren't quite my fault. They were things that, see, the story of my life is people always crash into me and leave me to do the wreck, and they ain't got no doggone insurance.
So you got to lead us.
I got to fix it. You understand what I'm saying? I have to. So when you look at my medical records, I fixed it, and then we fixed it, and then we fixed it, and then we fixed it, and so it becomes something private. There were areas that I just would not if you a girlfriend, you can't know. You ain't got to know.
I get that.
I get that. And the closer you get in, see, let me tell you what the fear is, a real fear for men, and why men don't like to let go. Because once I let you in and I tell you my secrets, you can't leave because I can't control what you do after that. So you gonna tell the people how I was crazy? You gonna tell people about the night I had diarrhea and didn't make it to the toilet on time, and I boo-booed on myself at 35 years old? You really just gonna tell somebody? The fear is that you and your new husband is laying up in the bed laughing at me. That's a fear.
But I would say women have the same fears and concerns.
I would agree. I totally would agree. To me, that's human. So
I think I just don't get embarrassed.
Oh, sweet.
I was raised by a real crazy family. And if you know me and you just so happen to know my family, don't nothing embarrass us. I can't think of anything that I could be like, that's embarrassing. I can't.
You listen?
Yeah.
Preferably fresh out of jail.
Pause.
Day one.
Wait, we got to pause for station identification, please. What did he say?
No morals. Preferably fresh out of jail. You can train them kind.
What this wait a minute. Where you born, baby? This granddaddy?
This is my grandfather, yeah.
How old granddaddy is?
He's 83. And he love read. Not this one.
Listen.
Walking around in Walmarts.
Papa almost got in a fight at Walmart. That's another show.
So have you found that, like, when you do try to get in a relationship because they know what's wrong with you, that they might back off of it, or like that's too much. Or I can't deal with
I have found it where they use it against me.
Oh, who did that? You know I fight.
You know? So if we're building something together and I'm explaining to you, I'm open book. I'm telling you all the good, bad, and ugly. Because if you're in this for the long haul, you need to know the same way I need to know it about you. But don't get upset or get scared and then use my life against me. I'm going to cut you real thick. Get your stuff and get on. Keep moving. Because what I don't have time for, I have already been hurt by family. I'm not going to get hurt by somebody that I allowed to come in.
Oh, that's good. That's real
what
good.
I'm not gonna do.
Listen, that's a preacher point right there.
So guess what? Me and my Amazon Fire Stick, we be chilling in my big old king size bed by myself at night at peace. I get up every day. I work 2 full-time jobs. All my bills in my house are paid. I ain't got to worry about that. But I will not do is allow for you to use what I've been through against me. I've already went through that. I ain't trying to relive it again with someone that quote unquote loves me.
Listen, and that's one of my issues with people take it and then it's turned. People take it and now you got an opinion. People take it and now they make assumptions about who you are and what you are and how you don't know nothing about me. You don't know what I'm going to school for psychology because they say crazy people. Everybody that went to school for psychology went because they was trying to fix themselves. Oh, that's why we go. We go because we trying to fix ourselves. We ain't going really I'll help you. I don't mind helping you, but I'm really trying to fix me. Now, what did you say? The hippocampus does what? What did you say?
It makes a whole lot of sense. My sister got her master's is in psychology
because you're trying to fix yourself. What's wrong with me? But if you knew the environment that I grew up in, then you would understand why I'm in here trying to fix me. If you knew.
But that's because our culture does not teach it. Like, okay, if you were to, let's just say, go to Ridgeview. I talk about this a lot on my show.
Yeah.
If you were to go to Ridgeview, you would be amazed at how many other children are there. There are no Black or Hispanic children in the room. These people have noticed that something is wrong with their child. They have no shame in saying, my child has autism or my child has when we say that, your child crazy, your child retarded, your child, and we're not doing anything medically to help them.
Or the doctor will there is a difference between ADD and ADHD.
It's totally, and it's a totally different treatment for both of them. Yes.
ADD you can manage outwardly. ADHD Put them on meds. In the discussion, and my history and work was teaching. I have taught for 15 years. I've been working in the school as a tutor. When I was 16, my aunt tried to make me get a job at McDonald's. I knew I didn't want to work at McDonald's at the time.
Because of them fries?
No, because I couldn't see myself cleaning the bathroom.
But what about them free fries?
The fries wasn't worth it. I got $1. I'll buy my own fries.
Ain't
but
that
I ain't
something?
cleaning up your stuff. No. And then you just gonna poop all over the wall.
How does it get on the wall?
Because I guess
Do you go up on the wall?
Well, see, listen, I've had to use the bathroom in public, and what you do is you kind of squat over it because I ain't finna sit on the seat.
Right.
But you got to put toilet tissue in the water so the water will splash up and get you.
Reed. Yeah. Tuesday's coming.
So listen, we get ready to do some church foolishness as I've just trained you on how to use a public bathroom and not get the water to splash. But it's not long at all. We're going to look at this video. You're going to hear this video. And you're going to fall out laughing. But so let us observe.
Let us be great. Okay.
Church foolishness. Okay, we will. Mm-hmm.
You thought I was too die for, but I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, yeah, okay. We getting it together. We're gonna take it back so you can hear the whole thing, because that was just one. That was just one. You needed to hear all of it in order to grasp the totality of what is about to happen here. You thought I was to die for. That was good. That was wonderful. Oh.
You thought I was too die for, but I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm going. I know y'all want to eat, right? For your glory, I will do. I know. For your glory, I have perfect pitch, baby. I will do anything.
Didn't get it. They did not get it. Listen, it's gonna bless you one more time, because I need you to discern what's happening in this and listen to that argument. That
she having in her head.
Listen,
No,
I need you.
the lady in the front row.
Listen.
Heckling her.
Yes, come on.
Real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but her response.
right,
Listen, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You thought I was too die for, but I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm going. I know y'all want to eat, right? For your glory, I will do. I know. For your glory, I have perfect pitch, baby. I will do anything.
Perfect pitch.
No. And listen. It's not just the fact that she said it, was the way she said it.
Yeah.
She said, I got perfect pitch, baby. Like, how dare you doubt me?
But this is the thing, though. While she's singing, she didn't go to the next verse because she's trying to heal herself. The lady like telling her words to sing.
Yes,
What
she
it
is.
was. So that's why she kept saying before her, for your glory, but Then she told her, wrong key, girl. I know.
I got perfect pitch.
Wait.
That was it.
Wait. So firstly, we want to talk. Firstly, it's a whole lot of pride in this. It's a whole lot of pride in this.
No doubt.
She is probably the church choir diva.
Yeah.
She's the church choir diva.
I'm not even guessing.
Which you will not sing her song.
Snap it down.
She sings This Little Light of Mine.
I'm going to let it shine.
And it does not matter that you can sing This Little Light of Mine. I've been singing This Little Light of Mine in this here church since I was
in this key.
Listen.
B flat.
That's how I always be. I always be flat.
I be flat.
With perfect pitch, baby. Listen.
And you were dead.
Listen, when you have a report that your boss is hounding you about, just bothering you, and you scared you gonna miss the deadline, and you slide it in right on time. When you put the report on your desk, just tell your boss, I got perfect pitch, baby. When you in the line at Krispy Kreme,
don't you
ordering some donuts because the hot sign was on, and you went across 10 lanes of traffic
and wrecked
with
your
wheel. Child in the back seat.
Ain't worried about them.
Ain't even worried. And bought you a dozen of donuts and your child a couple of donut holes, and you almost didn't have enough change, but under your seat was the dime or the nickel
and you found it.
Right on time. I want you to turn to the cashier and say, I got perfect pitch, baby. Yes. That's going to be your answer for life. When the bill collector call you and they think you're going to tell them that this time you can't pay, but actually you got some money, listen, I got perfect pitch. Baby. Don't you doubt me. So that the pride, though, the pride is what got me. Did you see the way she attacked that microphone? Fire glory. The way she lifted the microphone. You are about to take us into the throne room of God. We're going into the holies of listen, we're going up there. Listen, fire is going to fall. We are going to see the streets of gold, and then we are going to have a theophany of Jesus the Christ himself. He's going to show up and ask us to touch the nail prints in his hands and feet and stick our arm in the wounds to know that he is real and he died for us. The way she grabbed that microphone, if she sings, heaven is coming down to earth. And you prepare yourself.
You best believe it.
In your seat. But for you to get up, fire. I'm sorry.
I ain't even do nothing. I'm on his side.
That's what she did, though. She snatched the mic and just I'm like, ma'am, you better slay. Because you was being cute a minute ago. Die for. That was cute. But when you snatched that microphone, you were supposed to. The storms of life are raging.
What?
Stand by me. You supposed to take us in.
And then, yeah, she did. They was talking about the roses Sister Martha glory. Had made.
So let me tell you, my church don't. Don't show up great and you know you ain't. Don't do that. Don't go to K&G and buy one of them big old Easter Sunday best because you lead in the solo this Sunday. Don't go get the biggest robe preachers and vestments and suit up and walk into church, because when you do that, I personally and the people also prepare themselves. We expect something great. But then when you open up your mouth and you flat, you should have wore jeans at a t-shirt.
We call that on my show loud and wrong.
Right. You should have just wore a t-shirt.
You done got loud and wrong.
The preacher don't know his sermon. listen, and if the dope flew away and the dog ate it and he don't know the next point, he can't do nothing because he ain't got his notes.
Well, all you could do, you could just make up your own Bible parts. That's what I do every Tuesday. The book of Jacinta.
No, actually, I laugh when you do that because Mike at our church, he said, you're probably the only person that when you get to heaven and God created a new earth, he probably going to insert the book of Jonte. And it's going to be the book of Jonte 1, 2, and 3.
Verses 1 through 42.
Right. You might get a 4 because you know I like even numbers. So don't do 3, 4. And you know, because we're going to talk about some things that you just don't do. Don't do that. Don't be a choir bully because it appears as if she is. And she's the kind of choir bully that I don't like because she's sweet. Perfect pitch, baby.
But that's how you cook.
Right.
Yes, honey. That's what you do.
She's sweet.
I have perfect. She said, I have perfect pitch. Now, she meant to say another word.
What she meant to say?
I can't say that on this show. I can do it on mine. Tune in Tuesdays. Listen. And I will tell you exactly what she meant to say. Right.
Listen, no, you're not going to do that. So this church foolishness, we're not going to have pride. This church foolishness, we're not going to be snatching microphones like you're going to slay the audience. We was finna lay out in the presence of God. My sister had a conference. It's called the Gulf Coast Glory Conference. I told my sister, now you doing all this talk about the glory. When I get to your conference, the glory better be there. I tell people that. Preachers be like, sow a seed and God gonna bless you. You gonna get a house okay. And in 6 months' time, this gonna happen. In 6 months' time, when it don't happen, I want my money back.
What?
How about that? And I will get my money back.
Wait a minute. That's a new segment.
No, they don't refund tithes, but they'll give it to me. I'm telling you, we
no deposit, no withdrawals.
We are the home of the riot. Y'all heard about the Watts riots?
Yes.
Y'all heard about we riot real bad. What? You a liar? How about that? You prophesied stuff because you prophesied what I wanted to hear, so I would give you money. But when it didn't, you said I was gonna be all right, but I'm evicted. That ain't all right.
And I'm still giving to the building fund.
I gave you my rent money
for the building fund.
No. Nope. See, I don't do that kind of foolishness. Pay your rent, and whatever you have left, then bring me that. God don't need your money. The church needs your money to operate. That's how I raise my offering. I don't lie on God. The Holy Spirit said, I say, listen, it costs money to do ministry.
It does.
I'm feeding you a 5-star brunch the best that I can. If on $15, next week we having grilled cheese sandwiches because that's what you gave. I'm going to get some sourdough bread and some real butter, and maybe we can get a slab of bacon and put it in between. I got some tomatoes at the house. But
we've come a long way. Like I used to do brisket. We do shrimp and grits. We have fried chicken, eggs, breakfast casserole, French toast casserole, a fruit platter, hot coffee, tea. Orange juice, all full fledged free. I am so sorry.
No.
We had to pull it on.
But I told you that market would come, so I had to do it. But my point is, I don't lie and say God gonna bless you if you give us $400. I don't lie and say that because He did not tell me that. And what happens is the same thing with healing and sickness.
Right.
When you tell somebody God's going to heal them, take away the lump, that's what you said. God's going to resolve the lump. That's what you said. Now, if you say God's going to heal them and the person passed away, He did heal them.
He took them.
He did the best healing possible. He will never be sick again. She will never worry again.
Or be hurt again.
Right. So He did the best healing. So that's all right. I don't have an issue with that. But when you say your toe gonna grow back,
Now we all know about them 10 toes down.
I'm looking at your toe.
And the one that's on the floor versus the one that's still in the shoe.
I'm looking for the toe. You can't be promising people toes and they don't ever happen.
And
I gave you $2,000
not
for
a
my toe.
reptile.
Where's that? It's 10 years later. I'm still hobbling on 9 toes.
He said hobbling.
Give
And
me
I just want
my
y'all
money back.
to look that word up today. Hobbleth thy foot on thy ninth
Let
toe.
us not do these things. So listen, I'm excited to be here. We wanted to help you and encourage you to discover health, to discuss your health as women, as African American women, and as African American men. Men need to check as well. Testicular cancer.
Oh, they need to check for breast cancer
breast
too.
cancer as well.
And that
1% of breast cancer
is men.
are men.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. You know, just all of those things you need to check. Now listen, my brother Will told me not to share this story, but I'm gonna share it
Go on and
anyway.
do it.
See, this is why you don't tell people your business. See? And then he said his name. So all of us that
He told me not to share.
I can tell them, look, allegedly.
No,
Or just
it's my story. I told the story.
But you ID.
It's my story. He said not to share my story with anybody else. We're not talking about Will. We're talking about me. All right. So listen. When I was 12 and I went through puberty, I had a very interesting experience because I went to sleep one night, and the next day I woke up, I had knots.
In your chest?
Yes.
In your nipples?
Yes.
Ain't
I
that
had,
something?
I had knots. I was concerned. I didn't say nothing. I just left the knots alone. Then I went to the bathroom and I brushed my teeth and all that wonderful stuff. And then, went to school and all that, a couple of days, and I still had knots. Just knots.
Did they hurt?
No, not a little bit. They was
You knew they were
manageable.
there.
They were there. One day, we're on our way to Bible study in the back of the car, and my shirt is wet. Where the knots are. And I start crying because I'm going to die. Listen, because in our family,
Right.
if I get a cold, I'm going to die.
Die.
The Lord is going to take me. That's how me and my mom had a sickness. So
Okay.
like, oh Jesus, I'm dying. Oh Lord, don't kill me now. I got too much work to do. So I'm crying in the back seat because I know I got the breast cancer. I'm going to die. We go to the doctor. After I tell my dad what happens, we go to the doctor. The doctor does some blood tests. The doctor also whatever. And I said, it leaks. It's got stuff coming out of it. He took a swab. He said, oh, that's milk.
You jiving.
I'm not. That's milk. I said, whatever happened, your body is, and looking at your blood, produced a lot of estrogen. And you just had a flood, and we were drinking all that soy milk because I'm from California, so we was drinking all that soy milk, and it has estrogen that it introduces to your body at the wrong time, right in the middle of puberty. So you got a flood of estrogen, and it was not balanced out. So your body said, boop, and when I stopped drinking the soy milk, it went away.
Okay, so let me just say this. No. Read. I was going to actually do a segment on my show. Why do men have nipples? And up until now, I did not quite know the answer to that. So I was going to get other people to tell me. But what you're saying makes so much sense. And I'm going to tell you why. You can't, I just feel like from an evolution standpoint, our bodies are created to evolve into our circumstances. So now that I know why men have nipples, it's because if I can't, you can.
Possibly, and the components have to be right. I had high levels of estrogen. You understand what I'm saying? Like high.
So how did they treat it?
they took me off. Well, they told me stop drinking the soy milk. Like stay away from all soy.
And that's
products.
holistic, ain't it?
That's holistic because my mom went vegetarian. So you baka patties and all of this.
Baka?
That's a brand.
I can't.
It's good, but and I like
Boca?
it. Boca.
Okay, got it. No, you fine.
But I like it, because I really don't like. Y'all see, I don't eat the fat or the skin or anything, so I be picking apart meat. But this is just good, so give it to me. I like it. So I was eating just like it was normal, and I like to eat.
There's nothing wrong with that.
At all.
At all.
So that happened. So I'm just sharing that experience because men also can have changes in their body that don't make sense. And don't sit in the bathroom on the toilet crying with the door locked. Go to the doctor and get it checked. How about that?
Men don't even really discuss stuff they want. Like Marcus said, they mate, they friend. It's really a lot like y'all thing that almost gonna fall off. For y'all to be like, you know what?
As long as it don't burn, itch, or smell.
But we trying to get it before it gets to
right.
that point.
That's the point. Listen, y'all don't understand. All my nephews, okay, you got a little piece of something. Come on with your uncle. Let me show you where to go. They know where the clinic at.
I think that's another topic that's been on my show that we can't talk about on this show.
Oh,
but
yes,
when they
we
start
talk
giving
about
us the
love,
name
sex,
brand,
and salvation.
yeah, the
Yes, go ahead.
that's a real question.
Listen.
Yeah.
Y'all can do that on the Tuesday show. Y'all can't do that on the
So
Sunday
listen.
show.
Listen.
Right. You can't do it at Sunday at 11.
We're gonna talk about love, sex, and salvation. We can't actually because some people's nipples are sensitive, and so the marriage bed is undefiled. People have to understand that fornication is a sin. That's what's a sin. But in marriage, get you a ring and get to it. Listen. Get an agreement and get to it. And let me explain to you why that's. God is not saying that because he doesn't want you to have sex. He created sex and he knows that sex is good. If there's anything better than sex, it got to be in heaven because it's not down here.
Or them yeast rolls
let me
from Golden Corral. They just came
and
like
if
that.
And if you combine them together,
What?
oh, Father God, you're awesome.
Sing.
Listen, I make an icing that my nephews say, when I get married, can you just make me the icing? Sure. When you get married, I ain't making no icing for no girlfriends. I ain't finna help you fornicate, busting hell wide open with my icing. No, you not. You are not. So we have to understand that health, just like sex, are conversations we need to have in the
That's
church.
right.
We need to have it because as the pastor, the preacher, people listen to me.
You're the you're the leader.
People listen.
Right. They're supposed to follow
And so
and lead by example.
Thank you.
Woo.
So set a good example. You sleeping with everybody in the church, you passing it. Hey. Listen, so from state to state, conference to conference, everybody got
you
HIV
exactly
and
right.
It came from you. Let's not play games from state to state and whatever.
Hiding behind that Bible and God talking about
preaching and hollering and shouting about stuff, but
and
you're not,
you was sister in them.
And you're not telling people how to live. See, I have an issue with a gospel that does not tell people how to live it. It's not just promises, it's a lifestyle. Go ahead.
What's the real definition of fornication? Ask him, how can two people who are single commit fornication?
Fornication, the definition of fornication is this, and that's why I was getting ready to explain what marriage is. All right? If your plane, if you were on an airplane, it crashed on the island, a man and a woman, you're by yourself. Are you going to be, and y'all in the needing of each other and the working together, you develop feelings or whatever, and y'all form a relationship. Are you going to, and there ain't nobody coming to save you. You gonna stay on that island and be celibate for the rest of your life? You're a fool if you do. You stupid.
Because you got to build some more people to help you cut that firewood.
Thank you. You a fool if you do. Now listen. Marriage is not a piece of paper. Marriage is not a ring. Marriage is not something that happens in a court. Here is what makes fornication a sin. And it's not a sin against God. The Bible says, you didn't offend me when you fornicated. You sinned against yourself because you let somebody into your most sacred place. You entered into someone's most sacred place.
Right.
You joined yourself together without a commitment. God's issue is not the sex. His issue is the commitment. You are having sex with somebody who don't love you. You're having sex with somebody who don't know the worst about you and will love you anyway. That's what makes fornication a sin against yourself. Because after this relationship is over for 5 years and 10 kids later, your heart is broken and God knew it. And had you kept your legs closed and your pants up.
Wait a minute, did you say 10 kids and 5?
10 kids.
You know my math be off. Keep going.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so, but if you kept your legs closed and your pants up, your heart wouldn't be broke, because it's easier to walk away from somebody that you have not slept with. I can break up with you real easy, but once I give you a little piece and you don't see me naked, you is mine. Where you going? Thank you so much. And I'm going to ensure that you go nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? So you doing all this stuff. Come on, and let me, I told my nephews, I said, hoes, while I'm here, I said, hoes ain't nothing but damsels in distress looking for a hero. That's all they are. You
said, wait a minute, hoes is what?
Hoes ain't nothing but damsels in distress looking for a hero. That's all they are. That's what they are. And what happens is, I have nieces that is a little trollopy. And what is happening is you are looking, look it up. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. That's all she's doing.
Except on Fridays at the U-Ball.
Listen, and the bad part is men aren't looking for love. Men are looking for validation that I'm a man, because you ain't got no daddy. Your mama raised you. Your grandmama raised you. You have never been raised by a man. So the only time you feel like a man is when you're on top of a woman making her scream. That's what makes you feel like a man. The only time she ever feels loved is when you're on top of her. Oh, so come on, let me make it make sense. Leah and Rachel, two sisters, married the same man. Leah's daddy did not love her. Leah's daddy forced her on Jacob because Leah's daddy couldn't get rid of her. The first time Leah felt love, it was what Jacob thought he was giving to Rachel. The rest of Leah's life, she went on having children by this man because she wanted somebody to love her. And when she had Judah, her last child, she said, on this one, I'm going to praise the Lord. And to hell with Jacob and to hell with Rachel. If don't nobody love me, I love me. And she found out in a marriage that she could love herself and be all right. So fornication, what is fornication? Fornication is robbery. It's coming together. It's an illegal union that you make in your body, one with another. Oh, okay. So then you sleep with somebody, and all of a sudden you get a craving for peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
What?
Because y'all know when you sleep with people, they leave, you pick up on their stuff. So you slept with somebody one time, one night stand, but you ain't never been interested in Coke, but now you want to try it. Oh, people leave stuff in you when they sleep with you. I use sex as a form of coping. I used to use sex as a form. If I failed a test, I was gonna sleep with you. If my mama fussed at me, I was gonna have sex. If back in the day, not now. If something happened, I would have sex to soothe me. Pause. I've been having sex since I was 4 years old. It wasn't my choice, but I've been sexually active since I was 4 years old. And I was not raped. I was molested. What's wrong? What's the difference between rape and molestation? Molestation is when the perpetrator makes the victim feel like they want it. It's presented in the form of a gift.
Right.
Let's play house. Let's play
It's
doctor.
a toy.
It's and it feels good.
You're chasing the feeling. Yes.
The child does not know that they're doing anything wrong. By the time my mama said, don't let nobody touch your private parts, it had already happened. I didn't know you wasn't supposed to touch it, but you touched it, and I liked it. Touch it again. So now I'm actively involved in something that I should not be because you introduced it to me. That's rape. That's molestation. Rape is when there is no pleasure. You took it from me. I did not want it. You knew I did not want it. So how would sex be a coping mechanism? Because I liked it since I was 4 and it always felt good. So when I got older and my dad died and I was grieving, oh, to hell with it all. Listen, let's you wanna? Shoes come off quick. That's why I like slippers. You want to do it? What you want to do? And so that's what I did. So don't talk to me about and don't talk to me about being delivered from fornication. Because why I want to join? I never really smoked, but I want some. Why start shooting people at? When I start jumping in cars? When I start being okay with threesomes? When I start being okay with somebody watching? When I get this freaky? All I did was sleep with. Don't play no games. People transfer stuff. That's God. Everything God tells you not to do, He ain't telling it because it hurts you. The lie you told don't hurt God. Lying is a sin, but it hurts you. It hurts other people. Gluttony. God designed your body. Keep on eating Popeyes every day, folks. You do need that hot biscuit.
That hot biscuit here. And
one hot biscuit. Listen, 2 hot biscuits a day is all right. But you got people that get a whole tray of biscuits and devour them by themselves. It ain't like Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme is a
different deal.
Yes.
It's different.
Krispy Kreme is a cracker.
It's different.
Now listen, now you come to LA and you go to Randy's Donuts and you get a real donut, you can't eat a dozen of them. Eat a dozen of them if you want to and you greedy. Eating a dozen of you supposed to eat a dozen of Krispy Kreme.
And they supposed to be piping hot. And that's why I got a problem with the one. I got a problem with the one on Riverdale Road who doesn't turn their light on.
But gluttony,
wait a minute,
they do cut it on.
You on outside the time?
Yes.
All the time.
You need to call me.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I go to the doctors out there with y'all.
Well, you need to call me.
What I'm saying to you is, we can. Let me tell you something. I turn no meals down. And yes, but here's what I'm saying. The one on Highway 85.
On my way coming here today.
I'm trying to tell you, they do not turn the light on. I have the app on my phone, and it does not go off when I'm in Fayetteville or Riverdale.
They don't.
Just saying.
I'm saying. Well, I'm tell you why. They only drop donuts twice.
Ain't that something?
They only do.
Go to the one on Ponce de Leon.
Because I know
Woo!
that line be all the way down the street. But in Riverdale, they don't get that much action, so ain't no point in them.
But I'm not going if the light don't come on.
Because I don't want them cold.
And don't tell me they won't.
Because listen, the dozen, you only eat the dozen till the heat wear off. Once the heat wear off, you
put it away.
The kids can have them. Yeah, I done got to 7 donuts and now they cold. Here, baby, you gon'
That's exactly how you do
share
that
with your cousin. So you never really eat the whole dozen.
So basically, Krispy Kreme is not the sin.
Yes. So, but gluttony is a sin.
The biscuit is. Got it.
See, because when you open up that biscuit and you put the butter and a little bit of honey on it, it's good. And see, and you eat the whole box. You end up eating, and then you feel guilty, and then a roll goes across your belly, and then you can't get it off. So no, but then you get diabetes and all of these different things because of how we're eating.
Right.
So gluttony is a sin, but it don't affect God. It affects you. God's laws are not about Him. The majority of His laws are to protect you. He's saying don't fornicate because he knows for men and women, once the two flesh become one, it's hard to separate. Who knocked down your wall, ladies? Who knocked down your hymen?
I said my uncle did.
You remember? You remember? And that whoever opened that door, whoever opened your gate, will forever be a part of your life, whether you liked it or whether you didn't. That is a memorable moment that is enmeshed in your spirit. Every sexual encounter after that is going to be judged by that. Either it was better or it was worse. And that is what it is. So fornication is wrong because you taking something. So you could pass genetics spiritually. Anger, psychology are now discovering that's a genetic trait. Passiveness, that's a genetic trait. Aggressiveness, that's but aren't those personalities? No, those are things that are in your DNA. Oh, but he gave you something. But we wore a condom. Okay, condom makes flesh. What makes spirit? They don't have a condom for your spirit. Did you know that there are wombs in the spirit? There's wombs of affliction. There's wombs of pressure. There's wombs. Come on, y'all. You two are in a womb of affliction. And the design of a womb of affliction is to birth out greatness. All of that pressure, all of that pain, all of that hurting, all of that suffering, all of the things that you have experienced, right. God uses it. He compounds it and he compacts it. And then when you are pushed out in your time, you are a marvel. People trying to figure out how you did it. Where she come from? You know she used to be crazy. You know she lost all her family in 2 years. You know, Job was birthed out of a womb of affliction. He came out after he lost it all and sickened his body. So when God tells you something, we're not going to spend time arguing about fornication being wrong or right. Now, you got a free will. Do what you want to do. Right. Sleep with who you want to sleep with. But you can't alter the word of God. It's a sin. Now, I tell my nieces and nephews this. If you're going to sin, be man and woman enough to say you sinning. If the Bible says homosexuality is a sin, just be man and woman enough to say, hey, I'm doing it. God loves sinners. That's the point. Do y'all understand?
No, that's the big one.
That's the point. God loves sinners. He loves you in your sin. He looks beyond your faults and meets your needs. God can love you out of your sin. But the problem is you don't want to acknowledge it's sin. Bottom line. Let me tell you how I got delivered from my sin. I went to the altar one day. I said, God, if you don't help me, I'm not going to stop because I like it. I like having sex. It feels good. So if you don't give me the strength to stop this, if you don't help me stop this, it's going to ruin me. I'm never going to be able to be nothing because everybody has had me. Everybody know what I sound like. Everybody know what I taste like.
Did he say sound
everybody
like?
Know. Come on. Everybody knows. Oh, so what? What fornication? Why is it a sin? Because they in the back room laughing about whether or not you was whack and how you licked it and what you look like and how you jiggled and how you see. Because when you don't have a covenant, your nakedness is not a secret. Do you understand that Noah cursed his son for laughing at him for being naked? Do you understand that? And because you cannot curse what God has blessed, the curse didn't land on his son. The curse landed on his son. Right. Okay. So who you sleeping with? You ain't that quick to run to get in the bed now, is you? Do you understand that every time you get in the bed and you open up and you let somebody in, you make a marriage? That's marriage. Sex is the marriage. That's why it's a sin. Because every time you sleep with somebody and walk away, the act of sex is a marriage. Do you understand that in the United States and every country that there is, your marriage can be annulled if it was never consummated?
Right.
You could be married for 7 years and never sleep with the person. And you can go to a court of law and if you can prove that there was never any consummation, you were never married. Sex is the marriage. So the reason why fornication is sin is because you are a serial polygamist. You marrying all these people and walking away like you ain't done nothing. But then you wondering why you broke, because you birthed them spiritual children that you have to pay for. Now. That's why your light's always off. That's why you're always struggling. That's why you can't never find no man, because you already married. You married to 10 men. That's when Jesus met the woman at the well. He said, go get your husband. She said, sir, I have none. He said, thank you for not lying. And the Negro you with, I almost said something else. And the Negro you with right now ain't yours. So then when she started dealing with the issue, the problem was she was trying to figure out how to worship. So when God told her, he gave her water and she wasn't so thirsty no more. So she started a revival and led a whole city of men to Jesus because she wasn't thirsty. She used to be a freak. She used to twerk it. She can make it clap and not use her hands. She jiggle and roll. And now you won't. You don't want me to make it rain no more? I can't hit it no more? You don't want Big Daddy no more? What has caused this? No, come see a man that has told me all. Let me go see this man that done stopped you from shaking and jiggling and splitting and turning and flipping on and pop locking on the handstand.
That take a lot of talent, though,
Jonte. That you is talented. How about if you take some of that talent and use it in your bedroom for your husband? Why are you showing all of this talent to all these people that ain't gonna stay?
Well, I tried to show it to Chico, and I damn near slipped.
You got to practice. You got to practice in private and then break it out.
I was trying to practice.
Real quick. Mark, what was the first thing that made you go to the hospital? Or were you just getting checked when you found out you had breast?
The blood pouring from my girlfriend made me go.
She called it a girlfriend.
My girlfriend. Yeah. So that's how I discovered mine. I didn't have any lumps. I didn't have any other symptoms. It was just didn't have nowhere else to go, so it was pushing itself out. So I need to go figure out why was it coming out like that. Yes. No lump, no nothing. Perfectly fine. No other issues on that aspect.
I had no symptoms, but I had 7 tumors when they did the MRIs and the scans. When they actually got in there and they were removing both breasts, it was a 9-hour process. They found an additional 2. So I had a total of 9 tumors between both breasts.
And what I want to just point out as we close is even in that, do you understand that it could have killed you, but the protection of God, that something is walking around, something is living in my body. I have no knowledge of it, but God keeps us.
Right.
And somebody else went to the hospital and there was nothing the doctor could do, but you were found just in time. You were found just in time because he has a will, he has a purpose, he has a plan for your life. And it does not matter the trouble that you're in, God will always show up right on time.
Won't he do it?
Won't he will? I love y'all so much. I thank you for tuning into the Encounter radio show. February is going to be live, as you can already see, about this love, sex, and salvation. I can talk about it because I used to be nasty.
You can reach out to me. I'm 678-971-9880. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Daddy's Girls BBQ. DADDYS GIRL BBQ.
Listen. No, I told you. I
was getting my Holy Land experience. Y'all ever been to the Holy Land?
The last
I'll get my Holy Land experience. I'm sorry.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do. Now listen.
So if you don't come with some, you is not barbecue dad's girl no more. You just Margie by yourself. That's it. Period.
This is why I love Slick. Let me tell you something. Slick sent me a message, and Slick was like, "Listen, I'm telling you this because I want you to do good. I'm like, Slick that's my type of person. Tell me. I'm gonna try my best to do it. In between cramps, pain, and changing diapers, but it's gonna get done. Y'all don't. I got a whole child that I didn't have. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the Encounter Brunch. The Encounter Radio Show. You're listening to Misfits Radio, powered by Live 365, Google Play, iCloud, and iHeartRadio, YouTube, and everything else. Thank you for tuning in. Woo!